On Saturday, August 30th, 2025, millions of Verizon customers across the United States were met with an unexpected and frustrating surprise. Their phones stopped working. From big cities like Los Angeles and Chicago to smaller areas such as Omaha and Tampa, users reported being unable to make calls, send messages, or use mobile data. The only thing on their screens? A small but alarming symbol: SOS mode. For many, this triggered confusion, even panic, as it essentially meant they could only contact emergency services, with no access to standard mobile functions. Social media platforms quickly filled with questions, complaints, and desperate pleas for information. Was Verizon down? Why was the phone stuck in SOS mode? And most importantly, when would service return? Down Detector, a real-time outage tracking website, recorded over 22,000 reports of issues with Verizon's network. In some locations like Los Angeles, more than 1,300 users had reported the outage in just a short span. Verizon eventually acknowledged the situation, attributing the problem to a software-related issue. However, they offered little detail beyond a brief statement ensuring customers those engineers were working on a fix. No specific timeline was given, which only added to the uncertainty surrounding the outage. While network disruptions aren't unheard of, the scale and abruptness of this one left many users stranded, disconnected from work, loved ones, and essential services. Behind the scenes, Verizon's engineering teams were scrambling to isolate the root cause. According to the company, the outage stemmed from a glitch in their software systems, which impacted cellular connectivity across multiple states. As of late evening, some users began to see their service slowly return, but many still reported issues even past midnight. In today's digital world, where our phones serve as our wallets, navigators, security devices, and social lifelines, any interruption can have a cascading impact. For some, it meant missing work calls. For others, it was being cut off from family or unable to access two-factor authentication codes for banking apps. Even a few hours offline felt like chaos. This isn't Verizon's first experience with a widespread disruption. A similar major outage occurred in December 2024, impacting over 1.6 million users nationwide. Back then, the issue was also linked to internal technical failures, and like this time, it led to the now familiar appearance of SOS mode on iPhones. That event also unfolded across key cities like Chicago, Minneapolis, Los Angeles, and Miami. Though service was fully restored within a day, the memory of that disruption still lingers for many Verizon customers. Now, just months later, it feels like déjà vu. The frequency of such outages raises questions about the resilience of mobile networks and what measures providers are taking to prevent future breakdowns. While Verizon has not provided a detailed technical breakdown of the incident, experts suggest such outages can result from anything ranging from software configuration errors to server communication failures. In any case, incidents like this highlight how interconnected and fragile our digital infrastructure can be. It's not just a signal drop, it's an entire lifestyle paused. And for businesses, that pause can translate into real financial losses, customer dissatisfaction, and brand reputation damage. People are increasingly reliant on mobile connectivity, not just for convenience, but for daily survival. From navigating to work, securing rideshares, managing smart homes, and staying updated during emergencies. So, what can users do when faced with an outage of this magnitude? The first step is to check Verizon's official network status page or reliable platforms like Down Detector. Turning on Wi-Fi and using Wi-Fi calling can sometimes restore limited functionality, especially if you're in an area with no cellular coverage. Restarting your phone, toggling airplane mode, or even resetting network settings can help in isolated cases. It's also wise to follow Verizon's official social media channels for real-time updates, as traditional customer service lines often get overwhelmed during outages. Staying calm and connected through alternative apps like WhatsApp or Signal, if Wi-Fi is available, can also bridge the gap until full service is restored. By around 6 p.m. Pacific time, many users began to see their devices reconnecting to Verizon's network, and by 7:30 p.m., service was largely restored across most affected regions. However, sporadic issues persisted into the early hours of the next morning, particularly in high-traffic areas. While this specific outage is now mostly resolved, it raises bigger questions for consumers. How will carriers like Verizon ensure more reliable service in the future? Can software updates be rolled out with better safeguards? And how will users be notified more transparently when things go wrong? Ultimately, as our dependence on mobile networks grows, so does the need for accountability and stability from providers. Verizon may have patched this glitch, but users will remember the hours they spent stuck in SOS mode, wondering when they'd be able to reconnect with the world again.